Good morning. So today is Tuesday, and then my first setup for the day is USDJPY. So how am I going to trade USDJPY from today to Friday? Now I'm starting my analysis from the weekly time frame. So this is the weekly chart for USDJPY. Now in weekly time frame, we have this here as the strong support which has been able to reject price anytime price pull back to it or price to pull back to this level. Now, how did price pull back to this level again for the last time? Let's try to find out. Now, price pull back to this last level again with downtrend. How is that downtrend? Let's find out here. So starting from this resistance here, I have here as the first resistance, which formed this support. This support pull back to form this resistance, and this resistance pull back to this support. And now this level was able to reject price as a pullback. Now, how did the pullback happen? Now, the pullback occurred in the form of what? Uptrend. Let's try to find out the uptrend. Starting from that same level, which is the strong support, it formed this resistance. There was a pullback to it. This support was able to push price back to this resistance, and there was a strong P-bar rejection. Then after that, price has not been able to pull back to this level again. Around this area, price has been rejected multiple times. Now we are in a weekly time frame, so we need to now then consult the lower time frame to see how this uptrend behave in lower time frame, or how daily is further explaining this uptrend to see all the rejection here. What is the meaning of it in the lower time frame like daily? So let's move on to daily. Before I move on to daily, I have here as my weekly resistance. So I have here my weekly resistance, and I have here as my weekly support. So I'm going to lower time frame to see if price will not be able to push back here, but rather it will see sell pressure here and continue to drop back to the support again. So here we are in the daily time frame. How is daily explaining the pullback in weekly time frame? Let's try to find out. Now, daily is explaining the pullback in the weekly time frame, as we saw in the weekly, in the form of what? Pullback, in the form of uptrend. So this is how daily is giving further explanation to it. Let's find out. Starting from this support here in the daily time frame, we have here as what? As a daily support, which was able to break this resistance to form a new resistance, which is above this resistance. There was a pullback, then this pullback formed the next support, which is above a previous support. This support was able to continue the trend by pulling back to this weekly resistance, and there was a rejection. So this is the weekly pin bar that we saw in the weekly time frame. So the weekly pin bar is what? It's a strong bullish engulfing. So in daily time frame, we have here as what? As our last support, which was able to complete weekly pullback back to a weekly resistance. And then after that, in weekly time frame, we saw strong rejection. And that rejection is what? It's a strong bearish engulfing in daily time frame. What is strong bearish engulfing? It's a reversal pattern. Can this strong bearish candle, it's a reversal candle, can it reverse price, or it will not be able to do so? Let's try to find out. Now, after this support, forming this resistance here, price is pulling back to it. But for price to pull back to it, I've seen that price is what? Price is in a temporal consolidation phase. Why? Because when price break below this resistance again, price has failed to break above this resistance. It means that there is a potential of price to push back to this support again before we will see. There is a potential of price to push back to this support again before there will be a continuation of the uptrend, or price will be able to break this support. Now, in daily time frame, we can see here that this is so noisy in such a way that you will not see, or you cannot define price clearly. Let's move on to 4 hour to further see how price is explaining itself here, to predict whether price will be able to see more sell pressure back to this support and break it, or price will not be able to do so. Let's move on to 4 hour. Now here we are in the 4-hour time frame. Now when we're in a daily time frame, I said that price was in the consolidation. Price was in the temporal consolidation phase. Now here we are in the 4-hour time frame, explaining the temporal consolidation phase that price was in. Now this is the temporal consolidation phase, and this is the real temporal consolidation phase. Price will not always give you the basic consolidation phase, as you know, when price is in the consolidation phase like this. No, price will not always give you like that. This is a real temporal consolidation phase. How am I saying this is a real consolidation phase? In 4-hour time frame, price drops significantly below this resistance in daily, and after that, price has not been able to break this resistance again, also to break this support again. When price pull back here, we see rejection back to this resistance, rejection back to this support, rejection. Now, price use this resistance here to pull back to this support again in the form of downtrend. How is that downtrend? Let's find out. So this is the current movement of price, of which price used to pull back to the support in the form of a downtrend. We have a resistance here, we have a 4-hour support, 4-hour pullback, 4-hour continuation, 4-hour pullback, 4-hour continuation to it, and then 4-hour pullback. And 4-hour has pulled back to respect a previous broken support here as resistance, forming double top with what? With evening star confirmation. What is a double top with an evening star confirmation? Is what? It's a continuation. Now it's not serving as a reversal. Double top here is serving as what? A continuation. Now, how am I planning to sell? Now, I'm planning to sell if this double top here manage to break the neckline, come back for pullback. I will look for more sell opportunity back to this support. Now, if you trade using trend line, we have here as what? As first touch, second touch, third touch has formed what? Double top here. Now, how are you going to trade? You have to wait patiently for price to completely break the neckline here in 4-hour time frame, and then we'll look for more sell opportunity. Then we'll look for more sell opportunity back to this support here. Why not this support? Because when price behaves something like this, it has been able to respect a previous resistance here as resistance. And this resistance, how did it form? It formed because of what? This support. So I'll look for more sell opportunity back to this support. My first take profit will be here. So when price presents itself like this, my stop loss will be here. My last take profit will be here, which is 1:5, and then my first take profit. So first TP1 is this support in daily level, and then TP2 is here. So yeah, so with this, I'll end here, and then I'm waiting patiently for price to present itself like this. Then I'll look for more sell opportunity back to this support. Peace out.